Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayet. Nashtaprayeshu abhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavate uttama shloke bhaktir bhavati neshtike Sri Caitanya manobhistam sthapitam yena bhutale swayam rupa kadamayam dadati swapadantikam vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Namam Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirviseshasha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Vanchakalpa tarubhyascha kripa sindhu bhaevacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna Hare Krishna
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama
Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. So we are continuing today reading of Srimad Bhagavatam. We are on Canto 2, Chapter 10, Text 43. Tata kalagni ruddhatma yachishtam idam atmanaha sani yachati tatkale ghana nikam ival nilaha. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Thereafter, at the end of the millennium, the Lord Himself, in the form of Rudra, the destroyer, will annihilate the complete creation as the wind displaces the clouds. This creation is very appropriately compared to clouds. Clouds are created or situated in the sky. When they are displaced, they remain in the same sky without manifestation. Similarly, the whole creation is made by the Supreme Personality of Godhead in His form of Brahma. It is maintained by Him in the form of Vishnu, and it is destroyed by Him in the form of Rudra or Shiva, all in due course. So here Prabhupada is saying, he's giving the analogy that the clouds, when the water is evaporated by the sun, then the clouds are created. And then, but when we can't see the cloud, it doesn't mean that the water particles are not there in the sky. You know, the water particles are still there. So same way, the Supreme Lord, He's creating the material creation, then He's maintaining it as Lord Vishnu. And the secondary creation, of course, as Lord Brahma, He's creating it. And then He's annihilating, He's destroying it all in the form of Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva is empowered by Krishna to destroy this material creation. But when it is destroyed, it just becomes unmanifest. It's not that everything disappears. It's all there still in the unmanifest form. Bhagavad Gita 8.19 to 20 as follows. This creation, maintenance, and destruction are nicely explained in the Bhagavad Gita 8.19.20 as follows. Bhuta grama sa eva yam Bhutva bhutva praliyate ratri agame avasya partha prabhavati ahar agame parastasmatu bhavo anyo avyakto avyaktat sanatanaha yasa sarveshu bhuteshu nashyatsu na vinashyate. The nature of the material world is that it is first created very nicely, then it develops very nicely and stays for a great number of years, even beyond the calculation of the greatest mathematician. But after that, it is again destroyed during the night of Brahma without any resistance. And at the end of the night of Brahma, it is again manifested as a creation to follow the same principles of maintenance and destruction. So in the night of Brahma, because Lord Brahma is sleeping, so all these lower planets, the lower planets are destroyed. But the higher planets, they still remain. And then when Brahmaji wakes up the next morning, again he starts the work of recreating. Like when we go to sleep at night, we forget everything. All the work that we are doing, it's all put on hold. There's nothing, we are not doing anything with whatever work we are involved in. It could be studies, it could be our career, it could be our home, the house, the work. But when we are sleeping, everything is put to a stop. The foolish conditioned soul who has taken this temporary world as a permanent settlement has to learn intelligently why such creation and destruction takes place. The fruitive actors in the material world are very enthusiastic in the creation of big enterprises, big houses, big empires, big industries, and so many big things out of the energy and ingredients supplied by the material agent of the Supreme Lord. With such resources and at the cost of valuable energy, the conditioned soul creates, satisfies his whims, but unwillingly has to depart from all his creations and enter into another phase of life to create again and again. So when we are born here now, especially in Kali Yuga, we are not given the education that why are we born here? What's happening? What's the nature of this material world? And then we are so baffled by what's happening around us. Oh, there is so much economic development, so much progress is happening. Let me also become a part of this progress. Otherwise, I will be left behind. And so we are all enthusiastically just working. But if we just start to think, why am I working? What am I doing? Why am I doing what I'm doing? What will I gain out of it? That's the question we forget to ask ourselves, because we are seeing everybody's moving around us at such a fast pace. We also get carried away and we think this is what everyone's supposed to do. Because now we are not being given the education that, hey, you're not the body, you are the soul. So don't utilize all your energy for creating this temporary things, to give hope to such foolish conditioned souls who waste their energy in this temporary material world. The Lord gives information that there is another nature which is eternally existent without being occasionally created or destroyed, and that the conditioned soul can understand what he should do and how his valuable energy may be utilized. Instead of wasting his energy in matter, which is sure to be destroyed in due course by the Supreme Will, the conditioned soul should utilize his energy in the devotional service of the Lord so that he can be transferred to the other eternal nature where there is no birth, no death, no creation, no destruction, but permanent life instead, full of knowledge and unlimited bliss. So Krishna comes time and again as himself, as Swayam Bhagavan, Sri Krishna, or he sends his expansions, his incarnations, he sends his pure devotees. Why? Because to bring us all back home, back to Godhead, to give us this message that you're so busy here, you're utilizing all your energy, trying to be happy in this material world, thinking you're the body, but you have a mistaken identity. You're not the body. You know, in this regard, I heard a nice story by Bhakti Sundar Goswami Maharaj. There was a eagle, a baby eagle. He was somehow abandoned. And so he was brought up by chickens. And so he grew up with his chicken family, you know, with a hen mother was there. And so he would follow how she was teaching him how to eat the food, peck from the ground, the worms, you know, and walk everywhere. So he would do like that. And then he was growing up a bit. And then he was happy with his brothers and sisters, the chicken, walking around with them. Then one day, one eagle came and he saw, Are, this is eagle. Why is he behaving like a chicken? So he told the eagle, you can fly, you know, why you're just walking around here, limiting yourself to this small area? You know, you have powerful wings, you can fly. And the eagle was like, no, I can't do that. You know, I've always been walking. What do you mean I can fly? I can't fly. Look, my brothers and sisters, nobody is flying. My mother is not flying. So the eagle told him, come, I'll show you. I'll teach you. You can fly. You have the ability to fly. And then he took him and he told him, okay, now you do like this. You open your wings and you flap and you see what happens. And then the younger eagle, he listened to him. He followed his advice. And he opened his wings and he flapped. But because he was not so used to it, so he was not very expert initially. But soon he realized, just with a little practice, he was flying perfectly. You know, so same, we are here thinking we are the body, looking at each other. We are thinking, oh, this one is saying that I'm the body, I'm saying you're the body. And now with the social media, our this body consciousness is becoming even more stronger and stronger. You know, by posting our photos, we say, no, I am the body. You know, everybody is the body and we are all enjoying here. It's becoming even stronger without realizing that we are the soul. And so Krishna sends his pure devotees to teach us, to tell us, hey, don't use all your energy behind this body. You are the soul, you know. Engage in devotional service. Hear and chant about Krishna. And you don't need to be here anymore. You can go back to Godhead. You don't need to be confined here. You don't need to take another body and become old and diseased. So the temporary creation is thus exhibited and destroyed just to give information to the conditioned soul who is attached to temporary things. It is also meant to give him a chance for self-realization and not for sense gratification, which is the prime aim of all fruitive actors. So that this is the reason why this material world is created. Many people ask why God had to create the world. The world is created so we can realize this is not our permanent place. That our true identity is that we are the soul. We are not the body. Right now we have a mistaken identity. And to go back home. Any questions or comments?
Yeah, you were saying the lower planets, right? They get annihilated. That's partial.
Partial, yeah. At the night of Brahma, there's partial annihilation.
And then the complete is in 1 full day. Brahma, is it?
Complete is when Brahma dies. When Brahma dies, then the whole universe is destroyed.
So is it that full day? No.
No, at 100 years. Brahma dies when he's 100 years old. So when after he's 100 years old and he dies, that's the moment that the whole universe, all the planets are destroyed.
100 years of Brahma. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So let's read on to the next verse. Text 44. Itham bhavena kathito bhagavan bhagavatammah netham bhavena hi param drashtrum arhanti suryaha. The great transcendentalists thus describe the activities of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but the pure devotees deserve to see more glorious things in transcendence beyond these features. The Lord is not only the creator and destroyer of the material manifestations of his different energies, he's more than a simple creator and destroyer. For there is his feature of Ananda, or his pleasure feature. This pleasure feature of the Lord is understood by the pure devotees only and not by others. So Krishna, he has his energies, his material energy, his spiritual energy, his marginal energy. But what is the speciality? That Krishna is Anandamaya. He's full of bliss. And only the devotees know this. And that's the reason the devotees are always wanting to associate with Krishna by engaging in devotional service, by chanting his names. The impersonalist is satisfied simply by understanding the all-pervasive influence of the Lord. This is called Brahman realization. The all-pervasive influence of the Lord means the light which is coming from the Lord's body, which is called the divine light. Many people say the divine light. So the impersonalist, he's just happy to understand, oh, that there is this light. So this is the impersonal feature of the Lord. This is called Brahman realization, if we are actually situated in that light. Greater than the impersonalist is the mystic, who sees the Lord situated in his heart as Paramatma, the partial representation of the Lord. So the Paramatma realization is a higher understanding than this light, that God is light. Higher than that understanding is that God is Paramatma in everyone's heart and in every atom of the universe. But they are pure devotees who take part in the direct pleasure, Ananda potency of the Lord by factual reciprocation of loving service. So the highest realization, or the most perfect realization, God realization, is that Krishna, he is Swayam Bhagavan, he has a personal form and he has loving relationships with his devotees. And the devotees want to be situated in that relationship and give Krishna pleasure and experience the pleasure themselves. The Lord in his abode called the Vaikuntha planets, which are eternal manifestations, always remains with his associates and enjoys transcendental loving services by his pure devotees in different transcendental humors. So Krishna is never alone, never alone. He's always surrounded by his devotees. And then transcendental humor means the different ras. Each of us, each and every living entity has an eternal personal relationship with Krishna. And the 5 primary relationships that we could have is either in the dasi, in the shantaras, in neutrality like the cows or the flute or the peacocks. Then there is this dasyaras as a servant. Then there is the sakhyaras as the friend. Then there's the vatsalyaras as Krishna's parents. So Balaramji, he comes actually in all the ras. And then as the conjugal lover, as lovers of Krishna. So each of us have this eternal relationship with Krishna, one of this eternal relation. And our perfection is to be situated in that relation. But the dasyaras, the feeling of being a servant of Krishna is there in all the ras, because that's the eternal mood of a living entity, of the soul, that I'm an eternal servant of Krishna. Jivera Swarupaya Krishnera Nityadas. That we are eternally servants of Krishna. The pure devotees of the Lord thus undergo a practice of that devotional service to the Lord during the manifestation of the creation and take full advantage of the manifestation by qualifying themselves to enter into the kingdom of God. So what are the devotees doing? Now, when the creation is happening, some of us are busy working, trying to enjoy this material world. Let me enjoy, let me collect as much as I can. Let me get whatever I can. You know how you have a sugar cane? You put it through that sugarcane machine to see how much juice can come out. So there is practically no juice there, but still we keep putting the sugarcane inside that machine thinking juice will come out. So some of us are like that, trying to enjoy this material world. And then the devotees, what are they doing? They are utilizing their energy and their time in this material world to engage in devotional service so that they can be established, re-established in the eternal relationship with Krishna, in the pure loving relationship with Krishna. And in that way, they can go back to the spiritual world. They don't need to come back to this material world. The Bhagavad Gita 18.55 confirms this. Bhaktya mam abhijanati yavan yaschasmi tatvatah tato mam tatvato gyatva vishate tad anantaram. By development of pure devotional service, one can factually know the Lord as He is and be trained in the bona fide service of the Lord and be allowed to enter into the direct association of the Lord in so many capacities. I mean, can you imagine? Each of us has a direct personal relationship with Krishna, and we are giving that up, and we are wanting to still be in the material body and be confined to birth and death and disease and old age and life after life. This life, okay, we are in the human form. Next life, we don't know what form we are going to get. It could be an animal, it could be a tree, it could be a bird or a fish. We don't know. And here we are getting the opportunity to be re-established in our relationship with God, who is the most powerful. I mean, imagine if we had an opportunity to have a personal relationship with the president of any country, would we give that up? We would say, no, let me go meet him. He's calling me. Let me go see what he has to say. Let me have a meeting with him. And here, Krishna and his devotees are giving us open invitation. But how many of us are actually taking it up? The only thing we have to do is chant Hare Krishna and hear about him, and we can enter into the direct association of the Lord in so many capacities. As we just heard, that there are 5 relationships. The highest glorious association with the Lord is made possible in the planet of Goloka Vrindavan, where Lord Krishna enjoys himself with the gopis and his favorite animals, the Surabhi cows. A description of this transcendental land of Krishna is given in the Brahmasamhita, which is considered by Lord Sri Caitanya to be the most authentic literature in this connection. So Brahmasamhita is the prayers sung by Lord Brahma after he could see Krishna directly, and he's seeing Golok Vrindavan, and he's describing how's Goloka Vrindavan. So many people say, oh, how do I know God exists? How do I know Golok Vrindavan exists? Similarly, how do we know that, okay, now there is so much travel happening everywhere? Before, when there was no travel, how one person in one place sitting in a village in India, for example, can know that America exists? Because somebody went to America and came back and told him, oh, you know that America exists. The roads are like this, the cars are like this, people speak in this way, people dress in this way. So somebody came and told. That's how we can know. Similarly, Brahmaji is telling us, how does God look like? Oh, he has a beautiful 3-banded form. He has a complexion, blackish, bluish like a cloud, lotus eyes. He has a flute, and he's so beautiful. And he is living in Golok Vrindavan, where he's surrounded by Surabhi cows. He's surrounded by hundreds and thousands of goddesses of fortunes, who are the gopis. And then the sand over there is Chintamani jewels. So Brahmaji is giving us this information. So if we are accepting, oh, the scientist is saying that the moon is like that, we are accepting that information. We didn't go to the moon. We are just hearing what the scientist is saying and we are accepting it. So here Brahmaji himself is saying, and Brahmaji is the most qualified person in this universe. He's the one who's creating all of us. You know, so we should take up this process with faith, with complete faith. We should chant Hare Krishna, make up our mind, I'll make this life my last life, never to come back again to this material world. Why? Because I want to be situated in my original position. Why should I keep changing my temporary position every time? Let me be once for all situated in my original position where I will be eternally happy. Lord Krishna is enjoying himself. He enjoys himself. We don't see him ever with tension. Oh, I have so many universes I've created. I have so much tension. There's so many things going on. We manage a little thing. We get a small project to manage, or anything that we are managing. Then we get the anxiety with that. Oh, this thing went wrong. Oh, I have to do this. Oh, what happened about this one? But Krishna is creating unlimited universes, the material and spiritual world. We never see him holding his hand. Oh my God, what happened? What do I do? No, he's just happily enjoying with his Brajavasis. So we should have the desire. We should somehow or the other get this desire. I want to go back home to Krishna. I want to go back home to where the devotees are. Any questions, comments? No?
No, all clear.
Yes. This is a little long. So we can just read a little bit and then stop in between maybe. Text 45. Nasya karmani janmado parashyano kartritva pratishedartham maya yoga. There is no direct engineering by the Lord for the creation and destruction of the material world. What is described in the Vedas about his direct interference is to counteract the idea that material nature is the creator.
Sorry, Shilpa ji, we cannot hear you. There is some disturbance there.
Okay, I'm going to mute that. Is that better? Is that better now? Are you able to?
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, better.
Okay. So there is no direct engineering by the Lord for the creation and destruction of the material world. What is described in the Vedas about his direct interference is simply to counteract the idea that material nature is the creator. We are always thinking that this material nature is where we are coming from, that Maya Devi, she is the creator because she is in front. So we are thinking that Devi Mata, she is the creator. But she's not the creator. A child is seeing the mother every day. So the child thinks the mother is my all in all, my protector. But because the child is not seeing the father, he's not realizing, the seed is given by the father actually. The Vedic direction for the creation, maintenance, and destruction of the material world is this. Yato va imani bhutani jayante yena tani jivanti yat pravyanti abhi samvishanti. That is, everything is created by Brahman. After creation, everything is maintained by Brahman. And after annihilation, everything is conserved in Brahman. So everything is created by Krishna. The Brahman that is mentioned here is Krishna. Krishna creates, Krishna is maintaining, and then after Krishna wraps up this material cosmic manifestation, Krishna still exists. He continues to exist. Gross materialists without any knowledge of Brahman, Paramatma, or Bhagavan conclude material nature to be the ultimate cause of the material manifestation. And the modern scientist also shares this view, that the material nature is the ultimate cause of all the manifestations of the material world. This view is refuted by all Vedic literature. So if somebody says that the material nature is the cause of this creation, or chemicals is the cause of this creation, or the light, the divine light is the cause of this creation, they have not understood the Vedas properly. The Vedanta philosophy mentions that Brahman is the fountainhead of all creation, maintenance, and destruction. And Srimad Bhagavatam, the natural commentation on the Vedanta philosophy, says, Janmadhyasya yato anvayad itaratas charteshva abhigya swarat, etc. Srimad Bhagavatam says that Krishna is the one who's creating, maintaining, and annihilating. And Krishna, he is surrounded by all his energies. He has this internal energy, the material energy, the living entities. So he's the creator. And we can stop here for today.
I just wanted to ask one question. Like the word Brahman is Krishna himself. So is it also used in some other references, like in Bhagavad Gita and everywhere we hear this word a lot? Like, is it also the Jyoti, the Brahma Jyoti is also called Brahman sometimes?
Yes.
And the Krishna himself is Brahman. And is there any other more references we should know?
So anything that's coming from Krishna is also Brahman. We, the souls,
Okay.
we are also Brahman, actually. But it's only we forgot it. You know, we are thinking we are the body. But it doesn't mean we are the God. We are not Para-Brahman. Krishna is God. We are tiny. We are insignificant. We are 1/10,000th part of a tip of a hair. Whereas Krishna is unlimited. So the quality of Krishna is the same. Our quality is same as Krishna, as a drop of ocean water, as the same amount of salt. It is made up of that same composition, right? Of the salt, what is there, and in the total ocean. But the quantity is totally different.
Okay. So sometimes even soul is referred as Brahman.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Because we are part of Krishna. We have to understand that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, as we just said, that salt, a drop of salt ocean water is the same quality, as the big ocean. Yeah. So you can call this as, this is the ocean water, although it's very different in quantity. One drop is also called ocean water. Or a speck of gold. One speck of gold is the same composition, is also gold, and there is a big gold mine. There's thousands of tons of gold there, but both are gold, right? You're not wrong when you're calling the speck of gold gold. It is still gold.
Yeah.
It's tiny. So same way, but of course, when Brahman is mentioned, then it means the Brahma Jyoti. Or if it's created by Brahman here, then it means it's referring to Krishna.
Okay.
Yeah. So it just depends on in which context is it being used.
Okay.
I think when we say Brahman realization, then it means Brahma Jyoti, right?
Yeah, Brahman realization, yes. But also here, without any knowledge of Brahman, Paramatma, or Bhagavan, means to understand that God has these features, same as we say that sunshine. The sunshine could be Brahman. Paramatma is compared to the sun planet, and Bhagavan is the deity of the sun. It can be given in that example for us to understand. So when we see the sunshine, and now the sunshine is coming inside, I usually will not say, the sunshine is coming. I'll say, the sun is coming in my room. Right?
Correct. Yeah.
So, but it's not really the full sun. I would be burnt by now if the whole sun was.
So ultimately, Krishna is the cause of all causes.
Yes.
Ishvara Parama Krishna. Right?
Okay. Yes. Krishna is the cause of all causes. Okay. So we can stop here for today. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Ki jai. Jai. Hari Hari Bol. Hare Krishna. Thank you for joining, and have a great Saturday, a great weekend.